Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about all of the entertainment that we experienced on board the MSC Meraviglia. Come on and join us. Hi everyone, John here from Bite Size Cruises. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to talk all about the entertainment that we experienced and saw on board the MSC Meraviglia. We talked about dining yesterday, went through a full dining review. You can check out that video if you haven't seen it yet. The two things that MSC gets pinged for a lot are the food and the entertainment. So far in our experience, the food has been very good. The specialty dining has been outstanding. The normal complimentary food included in your cruise fare has been good. No issues at all. So the entertainment, on the other hand, has been a little weird. We were on Seascape. A bunch of the shows were weird. There was a lot of lip syncing, a lot of weird background or different things going on. I get some of it where it doesn't make sense for they're trying to cater to a more international crowd. So it's not going to be just like a Broadway musical or whatever, which is all good. But we wanted to talk about the entertainment and each of the things in particular so you can kind of get a feel for what we're talking about. So on Meraviglia, they have some very standard cruise entertainment, which we'll talk about a little bit. And I'm gonna kind of go through each day a little bit of what we did. So starting off with the sail away party, very standard DJ, live music for a little bit, then a DJ out on the pool deck. MSC, Norwegian Royal, none of them do this like Carnival. You know, Carnival's just like from the minute you get on there, it's like a wild and out party right on the pool deck. It's everybody's out there. It's not like that. There's some people out there, you know, everybody's kind of wandering around the ship trying to find their way around. And then one of the big things leaving out of New York is everybody gets on the decks to look at the Verrazano going under the Verrazano Bridge and the Statue of Liberty. So it's not quite as robust, the sail away party, but fun, just like every other cruise ship there. First night we saw the Cool show. It's called Cool. It was just a singing and dancing show. The vibes on this cruise, there were some really talented dancers on Seascape that we saw in the shows on this ship, and the singing was not great on the Seascape, the like performers in the main theater. Similar vibe on this ship. The dancer, and we'll kind of talk about it as we go into some of the different shows, but the dancers, it felt like maybe they're new, but it just felt like it wasn't real. No one was real excited to be there. It was kind of just doing the steps. It was almost like you were, if you've ever been to like a recital, and you can see like people counting their steps or like thinking about what they're doing. That's how it felt. The shows weren't bad by any standard. They weren't terrible. By far not the worst shows I've ever seen on a cruise ship. But just standard, like almost like going to everybody that we talked to and our team, everybody was saying it was kind of like show choir with like some dancers. So they're fine. It's a good 45 minutes of hanging out, listening to some fun music. That's it. Then we went to see the House of Houdini show in the Carousel Theater. That show was spectacular. The Cirque performers, whether it was the singers, the dancers, they have contortionists. They have two brothers that do strength things where they hold each other up and do crazy stunts. They have two women who do like aerialist things. Everybody was amazing. So that show, it was $12 pre-cruise, $18 if you did it on board, and you get a drink with it. Those shows are spectacular. We'll talk about the other one in a second. Every day in the promenade, they do dome shows. So if you're in the promenade, similar to Royal Caribbean, there's a long promenade, and they have a dome on it that's all LED screens. So they do dome shows twice a day. Those were all really fun and great. They're only a few minutes long, but a lot of fun. Every night they have music and pints at the Brass Anchor Pub. It's a guy playing guitar, very similar to the Royal Caribbean vibe in their pubs. Just an acoustic guitar. He was very good. No issues there. We played progressive trivia. This was really fun. Obviously, progressive trivia takes place over the course of your entire cruise. We wound up coming in second. Sam from the cruise director staff from South Africa was amazing. We had our friends that we met on board and they were our partners for our progressive trivia. They were really good. Shout out to those guys. They were really, really nice and fun. And then we also did the Sunshine Party the first night. So Sunshine Party is like 60s, 70s music out in the promenade. A lot of the parties took place out in the promenade. Really fun, great party. Good amount of people, nothing too crazy. Day 2 in the theater was the One Day More show. This was like a Broadway musical show. Very similar. Singing was pretty good. Not a ton of dance, not as much dancing in that one, but it was like Chicago, Les Mis, Phantom, all those. It was good. No drama. Again, not the best show I've ever seen. Certainly not the worst. Did a casino slot tournaments. They have those on all the cruises pretty much, but that's a ton of fun. Silent disco, which you'll see a lot. We did that in the promenade at night. That is always a ton of fun. Can't recommend that particular event anymore. You basically get headphones and you have a choice of 3 channels. On this cruise, it was like a dance channel, hip hop channel, and like a Latin channel. It's really fun watching and hearing people sing all different songs. It's a lot of fun. We did a bunch of like country line dancing, stretching classes, a bunch of things out on the pool deck. Those were a ton of fun. They have dancers on board from Columbia who teach all the dance classes. They were great. Really, really good. That was a highlight. We did arts and crafts in the Meraviglia Lounge. You can do frames one day. They did dream catchers one day. Those things were great. We went to language classes. So they did Italian, Portuguese, French. I think that's it. I always wonder why they don't do Filipino, because there's so many Filipino staff members, which we're trying to learn, to kind of talk to them since you meet them all on so many different cruises. So every time now on this particular cruise, John in the yacht club was teaching us a bunch of Filipino phrases, which was really fun. So shout out to John. That was really a good time. So then we went to the Meet the Cast behind the scenes. I love the behind the scenes things that all the cruise lines host. It's really fun to go hear about their experiences of getting on the cruise ship, whether it's the entertainment staff. What I did learn on this cruise is their MSC is a little more loosey-goosey with their staff than some of the other cruise lines. The newer, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, all those cruise lines, I find it now in the 2020s. Wasn't always this way. It's very strict, right? There's not a whole lot of fraternization between the guests and the crew from a fun and games perspective, let's say. So on MSC, we were privy to some fun drama of some crew and some guests having some fun, but they didn't seem as buttoned up or like it wasn't as frowned upon as it is. Like it's a 0 tolerance policy on most of the other cruise lines. And it seemed to be a little more loosey-goosey on MSC, which whatever works for you all. So we also went to the napkin folding demonstrations. Those are always cruise ship staple. They were fun. The Rock Circus show we went to on day 3 in the Cirque. Again, tremendous show. The singers, dancing, everyone was outstanding. I really can't tell you with any more enthusiasm to go to those Cirque shows. I know it's $12 before you get on the cruise ship, but they're 100% worth it. That show was Born to Rock in the theater. Same thing. That one, again, was very like show choir-y. The White Party was day 3. That was that was day 4. The Glow Party was day 3. Your typical promenade glow party. They give out glow sticks and everybody's having a good time. It's more of a club atmosphere. Day 4, they did the White Party. Those are really fun. Everybody's dressed up in all white. It's just a fun experience out on the promenade. It was supposed to be on the pool deck, and right when it started pouring. So people wearing white and pouring rain, not a good combination. So that got taken inside. One of the other things I like about MSC is you will see, I think on most of the other cruise lines, as far as I can remember, Carnival, Royal, all those, the kids club are like, you don't really see the kids once they go to the kids club, which is totally fine by me. Right. I don't have kids. So going on a cruise ship and being surrounded by 5,000 kids on like spring break, where, there's a ton of little kids and all, is not my idea of a great time, but it's fine. Families are fine. On MSC, the kids are a little more involved. So they come out and they do some performances. You see them walking around doing fun things around the ship. So I thought that's really cool. They do like a Do-Re mix. Do-Re Mi's the like ambassador mascot, and they run a lot of the things in the kids club. So you see the mascot and the little kids around everywhere. And they're doing fun things, which I thought was really, really nice. They do MSC has a partnership with Master Chef, so they do Master Chef at Sea. They do not let you cook. AJ from our team got called up. She won the trivia and got to go up, and it's usually like crepes or pancakes, and in this one it was cream puffs, and they had to like decorate the plate and everything. So it's a fun little thing to do in the afternoon. That was great. That night, day 5 was Top Hits in the theater again. This one was really weird. So it's called Top Hits, and you would think it would be like 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever, forward with like popular songs like Adele, Whitney Houston, like those type of things that you see on most of the cruise ships. It wasn't. It started in like the 70s and it went back to like Glenn Miller and everything. And MSC is not like Holland American or Cunard where it skews much older. I think most of the people we saw on the cruise ship were younger than us. So yes, there are some older people always in cruising, but it wasn't an older crowd by any stretch of the imagination. So that was a little weird as well. They do have a DJ out in the Horizon Pool Bar every night. Those are fun. It wasn't super crowded. Again, I don't think, other than Carnival, I don't really see the nightclubs get crowded on cruise ships at all. There's usually 10, 15 people in there. Day 6, the cruise staff did a show. It was the best, not from a talent perspective, so let's not get carried away, but it was the most fun we saw in a show. The cruise staff, you could tell they like had so much enthusiasm. They were practicing. They had tried really hard to learn the routines. They were singing and dancing. They did a bunch of different skits. It like the energy that they had, if the other shows had that kind of energy, the shows would have been great. So it just goes to show you, right? Sometimes it's just effort. And sometimes I think sometimes you're just doing the same show every night. Maybe it just gets boring. So, but the cruise staff show, so much fun. I really recommend doing that. The last night, they did a show called Journeys, which was like through all of Europe and singing and dancing. Again, fine. It was fine. If you have nothing to do and you want to spend 45 minutes and listen to some good music, they're fine. The one thing I will commend MSC on is there's a different show every night, 2 showings, 7:30, 9:30, and there is a brand new show in the theater every night. So big ups for that. I appreciate that because there's some cruise lines where, you get stuck seeing the comedian 3 or 4 times or, magicians a couple times. Speaking of, they did have mentalists or magicians, so to speak. The conjurers were on board. 2 British blokes, a man and a woman, and they were pretty good. I generally, if you watched any of our reviews, I'm not into the comedy or magic on cruise ships. They tend to not be my favorites, but it was a good show. They did a couple really cool tricks that I couldn't figure out. So it was really, really fun. I had a good time. The other big things they have, music trivia, obviously, karaoke, obviously, which everybody's doing. They do the live band karaoke as well on the last night, which is a lot of fun. And then the last thing that we did before we wrapped up the week was painting with wine, which I thought was really fun. They had Merlot and I think a Cabernet. And you actually use the wine as your paint. And you paint things, and it was really fun. Again, Sam from the cruise director staff ran that. She was great. Just did an amazing job. Also, Samuel from the cruise director staff was wonderful. He did a lot of the language classes and the napkin folding. Sophia did the Italian classes from the cruise staff. She was really good. The cruise directors and the cruise director staff were all just great. The cruise director is the first American female cruise director for MSC, Carrie Noble, and she was really, really great. She had stopped to talk to us a few times. She was very engaging, talked to a bunch of different people. We saw her constantly. everywhere around the ship, talking to different people. The captain was great. We had a great time. The entertainment was fun. We really enjoyed this cruise a lot. So highly recommend Meraviglia. Go check it out. If you have any questions, we would love to see them below. If you have any comments, we would love for you to subscribe as well. Thanks so much for watching the video, and we'll see you next time. Bye.